Good morning, and thank everyone for coming out. My name is Patricia Grant with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Marine Unit. We are here joined today with several law enforcement partners to collaborate our joint efforts. Every year at the start of boating season, we announce this amplified enforcement activity that will take place within the next few months on our waterways to protect manatees and to reinforce the importance of safe boating. Some of these law enforcement agencies' vessels are clearly marked and some are not, but you will see the lights and sirens as they approach you. We'll be out enforcing the slow speed zones, the manatee zones, and of course the applicable laws such as boating under the influence. Federal fines range from $125 to $25,000 and or 6 months imprisonment under the Endangered Species Act. The United States Fish and Wildlife Service is the principal federal agency responsible for this protection enforcement activity. I would like to begin by thanking Jim Suber, the city's dock master, and our representative from the mayor's office for being here today. Thanks, Jim. Also joining us this morning is Dr. Quentin White, who's running a little behind, from Jacksonville University, a respected biologist and marine scientist, and a great advocate for our beautiful waterways. The United States Coast Guard is also here, Lieutenant John Paul Monreal Burner and his representatives. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Officer Brad Stanley. Also joining us from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is marine biologist Nadia Gordon and Cheyenne Rubin. Ladies. We also have Jody McDaniel with the City of Jacksonville, the Manatee Coordinator, and Captain Mike Getchell, JMTX. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacksonville is the River City. With approximately 30,000 registered boaters in this county and thousands more visiting our area and using our waterways, protecting this great asset is part of protecting our quality of life. As many of you know, Jacksonville is home for a large population of manatees, and we want to be extremely careful to make sure that they do not get injured or killed. These endangered species are easy to spot if waterway speed limits are obeyed. With a little caution and low speed, boaters can avoid striking and possibly killing the endangered creatures. I am happy to report that last year, in 2014, there were 0 watercraft-related manatee deaths in Jacksonville's waters. This is down from 2013, when there were 4 watercraft-related manatee deaths, and a decline from 2009, when there were 8 manatee deaths caused by watercraft in Jacksonville's water. So our public awareness campaign is definitely working, and I appreciate everybody's assistance in making this happen. Also, thank you to the media outlet who helps us get the word out. We view our waterway as a great regional asset and appreciate another opportunity to enforce the law without borders and working with our trusted partners. We have some pamphlets to share with the media representatives today. We ask that you take those back to your stations and post them to your website. Also, the media advisory has included some links to some important information. Of course, our website, www.jaxsheriff.org, will have a manatee enforcement page up to date with this information. Some additional factoids that you may be interested in is that Duval County has approximately 125 square miles of navigable waterway. Our education enforcement efforts will take place throughout the waterway, including the Intercoastal, as well as Sisters Creek. In 2014, there were 7 joint manatee protection deployments with JSO Marine Unit, FWC, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the United States Coast Guard. In addition to the joint efforts with our partners, our Marine Unit also conducted nearly 90 marine manatee deployment on its own. This is an effort to ensure that the public is continuously reminded of the manatee slow speed zones. Now I would like to open up for our partners to say a few words. FWC Officer Stanley.
Good morning. I'm Officer Brad Stanley, Florida Fish and Wildlife. and just want to take a quick moment to talk a little bit about the manatees and as far as boating safety as a whole. Please, if this is your first time out this year, spend an extra 20 minutes, look through your safety equipment, make sure you have all your requirements before you put on the water. Once you get on the water, please abide by the slow speeds and the idle speed zones. Manatees are really active this time of year. They also have calves. There'll be a lot of boats out on the water for the boating season, so just be aware of your surroundings. And if you're not sure of the regulations or some of the manatee information, please go to our website, myfwc.com, where we have a boating link and a wildlife link that would answer most of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Lieutenant J.G. Monreal from Coast Guard Sector Jacksonville. I'd like to remind all mariners to be safe on the waterways. I'm the Living Marine Resource Officer for Sector Jacksonville, so I coordinate support and enforcement actions for endangered species. This year, we'd like to assist our state and federal agencies, as we have in the past, to enforce the manatee protection zones and assist other endangered species.
Hi, FWC would just like to remind individuals that we are here as a resource and to provide information and educate, as it is the people that are on the water that really make a difference for these marine mammals. So we ask folks to just remember that manatees are protected under the Marine Mammal Protection Act, the Endangered Species Act, and the Manatee Sanctuary Act. So it is illegal to feed or water manatees or to change their behavior in any way, which is considered harassment. So this, if you do feed, water, or change the behavior of an animal, coming too close to them, etc., it can negatively impact their behavior. So we just ask folks to be very mindful of that. Now, if you are on water and you do see a manatee or any marine mammal that is in distress, tagged, or deceased, we ask that you please call the FWC Wildlife Alert Hotline. This hotline is 1-888-404-FWCC, and this, when you call this hotline, you can, when you call, hit 7, it will take you directly to a dispatcher. They will take your information, they will contact us, and a biologist calls you back and gets that information from you directly. So when you are on water, this hotline is a great number to have. It does go to the FWC Law Enforcement Dispatch. By calling that number, you can give us near real-time information so that we can respond in a timely manner. And I must say, photographs are very helpful if available. Thank you.
So apparently Dr. White will not be able to make it, but I want to open up the door, the floor, for anyone else that might want to say anything or speak.
Anybody have any questions?
What was the name of your last speaker?
Dr. Quentin White.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Your
Nadia.
name? Nadia?
Gordon.
Gordon. Nadia Gordon. All right.
All right.
So our law enforcement agencies are now going to go out onto the boat with our marine guys and get a view of the areas of our manatees. So if you guys don't have any additional questions and you want to ride along, let's get ready to ride.